that's real or something that is totally imaginary, something you've made up in your head? I started thinking about this past couple weeks because I have a little bird, a junco, California junco, that is going wild on windows. He comes up to the windows and he sees his reflection, and he perceives that reflection as a rival. And so he flies up on the window and he flutters around, and he flutters and flutters, and he pecks, and he walks around and he pecks some more, and he flutters some more, and he just spends his whole day fighting with something that isn't there, fighting with himself, really. And he goes out of his way to see this thing that isn't real, that isn't even there. He flies over to the cars in our driveway, my daughter's car and my car, and he sits on the window, the passenger side or the driver's side window, and sees his reflection in the side view mirror. And then what do you think he does? He flies up to the side view mirror, not very far from the window to the side view mirror, and he flutters around and he pecks and he fights with himself, He has a totally false picture of what's going on, and he's creating it in his head, right? So my question to you is, when do you do that? Do you actually create some kind of perception, a false perception? You're creating it here in your head and then fight with that on a regular basis. Do you perceive lack where there really is quite a bit of abundance and you fight with that all the time? Do you see competition where there really isn't competition? Where there's really just a bunch of people operating in the same space together, doing very different things and attracting some of the same people, but actually the competition could just as easily be people that you work with, that you join forces with. So what is it that you're seeing out there that is a false perception that you're fighting with, that you're fighting with yourself? It's an internal struggle that you're creating because you see something there that's not there, that you're creating. It's like going in the bathroom and looking in the mirror and seeing something different. Like a person who's bulimic, who looks in the mirror and sees a fat person even though they're skinny. Now that happens to be an illness, bulimia. I know people who have bulimia and they've struggled with it their whole lives. But it's still them struggling with themselves, with their image of themselves. And maybe that's what you're struggling with. Maybe your image of yourself is a false one. And you're struggling with that. You're fighting with that. That's your rival. So I want you to spend some time this week thinking about what perceptions you have that are not real, that you're creating. The things you're seeing out there that you're creating and fighting against when there's nothing there to fight with. That little junco has no rival. There is nobody fighting with him for his turf as he creates his nest. There's nobody. There's no other bird that is his rival. It's just here. He's created it. He's seeing something that doesn't exist. Where are you seeing things in your life that don't exist? So I want you to put on a different set of lenses. Put on a totally different set of lenses and look at your life and evaluate what you see daily and what you're struggling with. What are you fighting with? Evaluate it and ask yourself if it's a false perception, and begin to learn to see it for what it really is. So how can you do that? There are some tips I'd like to offer you for how to do that. So one is to ask actually other people what they see in your life. Say, here are the areas I'm struggling. This is where I feel like I'm struggling and fighting, and see things that I need to, to push against, go up and flutter against, right, and peck at. Can you tell me if they're real? Are they really there, or is this a figment of my imagination? You can also try to see from somebody else's perspective. If you don't have anyone to kind of look at your life for you through a different lens, then put yourself in someone else's shoes and actually look at your life through their eyes. You can also look for evidence. that this is true or false, what you're seeing and struggling with? Is there any proof that what you're looking at is real? So for the Junko, every time he hits himself against the window or the car mirror, there's nothing there but something solid. He's banging against glass. He's not banging against another bird. That's evidence that it doesn't exist. That's what you want to look for. You can also just create a new vision. Decide to see something different and see if you can, in the process of visualizing something different over and over and over again in your mind, decide to see something different, imagine what that is, visualize it over and over again, see if that doesn't change your experience. Also, journaling, great thing to do. Just journal about what you perceive in your day and begin asking yourself some good questions about whether that's real. And last, you can get support. If you're really, really struggling with, getting clarity on what you actually see in front of you and the things you're struggling with and whether they're internal or whether they're external issues, you can get some support. Get a coach, get a counselor, a therapist, someone who can take an objective look at your life and the things you're struggling with, your challenges, and tell you whether this is something you're creating up here or whether it's really something out there that you need to deal with. So that is it for today. I want to inspire you to actually look at your life through a different lens and perceive what you're creating that is not real, that you're struggling with, that you can then change, and what is real, what is out there that you need to deal with in another way. So that is it for today. Look at the world through some different eyes, see whether you're creating things to fight against that are not really there. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I'm one of 300 certified high-performance coaches working around the world. Elite coaches, can't find very many of us. I'm one of the few who deals with writers to a great extent, but I deal with anyone. I help anyone who wants to get from here to there, so from where you are to where you want to go, and to level up to do that. I help anyone do that. You could be an entrepreneur, you could be a conscious business person, you could be an artist, a dancer, a writer, an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. I can help you get from where you are to where you want to go by leveling up. By leveling up in terms of your clarity, your energy, your courage, your productivity, your influence. I want to help you master your mind. Master your psychology and your physiology and your productivity and your persuasion, as well as your purpose and your presence here in this lifetime. If that interests you, please go over to ninaamir.com/free session and sign up for a free 1-hour discovery session with me, and we'll explore some of these areas of high performance and see where you are with them and how you could level up and change your life for the better. Live more fully, live as your best self. Again, Nina Amir at ninaamir.com/free session, or just go on over to nina@ninaamir.com, click on personal growth and high performance and check it out. Or go to my blog, ninaamir.com/blog, or just go to ninaamir.com and click on the blog, and you'll find lots of things to read there to help you begin to level up on your own and to get from where you are to where you want to go. So it's my passion, my purpose to help people live fully, become their best selves, and live into their purpose. So if I can help you in any way, please contact me. And until next time, go out and achieve more inspired results.